His name was Bjorn, and he was afraid. Not the kind of fear that comes and goes. The kind that lived in his chest every single day. The kind that woke him in the night. The kind that made him wonder if he would ever be free. He was 25 years old, and he had been afraid for as long as he could remember. Afraid of dying. Afraid of failing. Afraid of what people thought of him. Afraid of being exposed as someone who was not as strong as he appeared. The other warriors did not know. They saw Bjorn standing in the shield wall, axe in hand, face like stone. They thought he was steady. They thought he was brave. They drew courage from his presence, but Bjorn knew the truth. His hands shook before every battle. His heart pounded so hard he could hear it. His mind screamed at him to run. This is how he lived. Every day, a man divided. The outside looked strong. The inside was terrified. One night, after a battle that had nearly cost him his life, Bjorn sat alone by the fire. He could not sleep. The fear would not let him rest. An old warrior named Eric sat down beside him. Eric had seen 60 winters. He had fought in 100 battles. He had lost count of the enemies he had faced. "You fight well," Eric said. Bjorn shook his head. "I am afraid." Eric nodded slowly. "I know. You know?" Bjorn looked up surprised. "You know I am afraid?" "Every man in that shield wall knows," Eric said. "We all see the way your hands shake. We all see the look in your eyes. We all know." "Then why do you follow me?" Bjorn asked. "Why do you think I am brave?" "Because you stay," Eric said. "Because you stand there, terrified, and you do not run." "That is not nothing, Bjorn. That is everything." Bjorn sat with this. It did not make the fear disappear, but it planted a seed of something new. In the weeks that followed, Bjorn began to watch the other warriors. He watched their faces before battle. He looked into their eyes when the enemy drew near. And he saw something he had never noticed before. They were afraid too. The great warriors, the ones he had admired his whole life, they felt the same terror he felt. Their hands shook, their hearts raced, but they stayed anyway. They moved forward anyway. The fear was not unique to Bjorn. The fear was universal. The only difference between him and the men he admired was one thing. They had learned to move through the fear. They had learned that the fear would never leave, but it did not have to control them. Bjorn started training differently. He stopped trying to kill the fear. He stopped waiting for it to disappear before he acted. Instead, he began to do things while afraid. He spoke in front of the village while afraid. He trained harder while afraid. He faced challenges while afraid. At first, nothing changed. The fear was still there, heavy and cold. But slowly, something began to shift. The more he acted while afraid, the less power the fear had over him. It was still present, but it no longer controlled him. It was like a dog that had been wild and now sat at his side, still there, but no longer the master. Months passed. Bjorn grew stronger, not in body, but in mind, in spirit, in understanding. The fear did not disappear completely, but it became small, it became quiet. It became something that visited him but did not live with him anymore. One morning, a messenger came to the village. An enemy army was approaching, 3 times their number. The biggest force anyone had ever seen. The young warriors gathered around Bjorn. They looked to him for strength. They waited for him to tell them what to do. And Bjorn felt something he had not felt in a very long time. Peace. The fear was there, but it was small. It did not paralyze him. It did not make him want to run. It was simply a visitor passing through, not staying. He looked at the young warriors. He saw their fear. He saw what they were feeling in his own chest years ago. He knew what to tell them. "I am not going to tell you to stop being afraid," he said. "Fear is natural. Fear is human. I have felt more fear in my life than most men will feel in 10 lifetimes. The young warriors listened. "But I am going to tell you this," Bjorn continued. "Fear is not the enemy. Acting out of fear is the enemy. Staying because you are afraid, that is courage. Moving forward while your heart is pounding, that is courage. Being terrified and doing it anyway, that is courage. They stood in silence. I have spent my whole life afraid, Bjorn said. And I am still here. I have fought battles while afraid. I have led men while afraid. I have lived while afraid. And I am still standing. The fear will never leave, he said. But it does not have to stop you. Now listen to me. I am telling you this because you are Bjorn. You carry fear in your chest every single day. You wake up with it. You go to sleep with it. You walk through your life wondering if everyone else has figured out something you have not. You think you are broken. You think there is something wrong with you because you feel afraid when other people seem calm. I am telling you the truth. Everyone is afraid. The fear you feel is the same fear that every person who has ever lived has felt. It is not unique to you. It is not a sign of weakness. It is simply part of being human. The difference between the man who succeeds and the man who fails is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move anyway. You will feel afraid when you start something new. You will feel afraid when you face a challenge. You will feel afraid when you try to change your life. The fear will never leave, but you can learn to move through it. You can learn to act while it is present. You can build a life that is not controlled by what you feel in your chest. This is what Bjorn learned. This is what I am teaching you now. Fear is not the enemy. Fear is just a feeling. And feelings pass. They come and they go. What stays is the choice you make while they are here. Choose to move. Choose to act. Choose to live. The fear will try to stop you. Let it try. You are stronger than you know.